English teacher, Part 55. Well, the balance of responsibility control patterns may vary depending on factors such as type of lessons content and the degree of readiness on the part of the students to take responsibility for their own learning. When a teacher determines the learning objectives, content, pacing, learning activities, classroom rules and procedures, and assessment with little or no input from students, teacher control in a classroom is high. A high-level teacher control suggests that the students may be only passively involved in their learning process. Although a high level of student control may suggest the opposite, the students are actively involved in teaching learning process. It is very demanding of the teacher. It requires that the teacher determines students' command of knowledge and skills in relation to the topic to be studied, identify their learning needs, and to meet those needs, teach students selected content and activities using student-selected methods, means of evaluation. The teacher's role becomes that of the facilitator and a resource person rather than that of a presenter, instructor. Well, direct instruction strategies and methods, for example, lecture, assigned questions, and explicit teaching, are generally considered highly teacher-centered and controlled areas, rather factors, whereas indirect strategies and methods, for example, inquiry, cooperation, cooperative learning, group investigation, and some experimental learning, are generally considered strongly student-centered and controlled activities, academic activities. Despite these general perceptions, opportunities exist for varying the balance of control in both types of instructions, and locus of control can and often should shift during the teaching of any unit or lesson. The issue of control. How much control should students exercise over what they learn and how they can learn? Can students be trusted to learn diligently the content and skills they need ethically and legally? How much control can teachers relinquish? For educators disagree that teachers should seek and value the opinions of their students. Knowing that a teacher seeks their opinion motivates students to learn. Students do not respect or like teachers who are indifferent to or scorn their feelings and judgments. In addition, knowing what students think helps you to make adjustment and clear up misconceptions. A more complex question is the amount of the voice students should have in selecting lesson content, learning methods, and the modes of evaluation. Sometimes there can be penalties as well. On the other occasions, there can be rewards as well. If there are fair performances, genuine, genius, intelligent performances, yes, there should be rewards. And on the other occasions, yes, there can be punishment as well, but not the physical punishment. They are the punishment through, on a lighter tone, it can be a scolding as well. Well, factors to consider when deciding the degree of control you should entrust to your students include the degree to which you have already established positive classroom management, the level of interpersonal and group skills your students have acquired, the need for increased motivation through the promotion of students' ownership, the availability of print and non-print resources needed to make students directed instruction practical, the degree of student control with which you can be comfortable. Well, you can have certain practice on it. You can think of a teacher who managed his or her classroom very well, record the things the teacher did or said to keep the students on task learning. Working with two partners, identify 5 characteristics from groups. You can have the turns, and then you can use the data collection form From group of 7 to 8, you can compose and deliver the sketch representation. Managing classroom.